So as you know, I'm building the Checkout Summit website. So it's a conference, it's an event. And what I need to do is transforming the WooCommerce product page into an event booking form. So the add to cart will need to have, yes, the quantity, but every time I increase the quantity, then I need the name and the surname of the attendee. So you can add 1 to cart and just give me a name and a surname. You can add 3 to cart and I need 3 names and 3 surnames. So to add basically product options to the WooCommerce product, I thought about the Studio Wombat advanced product fields for WooCommerce. I know the developer, I know how good the support is, I know how clean and performant code is, so this was definitely a no-brainer. Now, what I want to take a look at is the front end demo here. So if you click on that, you actually get to their demo store, and there are 3-4 case studies like, coffee bundles, book a classroom, buy a chair, and so on. And the very last page features also the, tickets. And as you can see here, it says repeated fields, which is exactly what I'm looking at here. So basically something, like in my case, first name and surname, that I need to repeat based on the quantity. So this is the actual demo. If you increase from 1 to 2, you will see that the second person now shows up. In here, in the short description, they have a link to their tutorials. So we're going to be following exactly that. So first of all, step 1, we need to install the plugin. So I have a license. I am under the Studio Wombat account page and I can download version 3.0.9 onto my computers. Very good. So now I can go to the website, and here I have my products that will need indeed a name and a surname for each quantity. So I'm going to plugins, add plugin, and now I will be installing the plugin from scratch by clicking on upload. Choose file, here it is, advanced product fields for WooCommerce. So clicking here, open, install now, and the plugin will install in a matter of seconds. Perfect, we're in. So second step of the documentation say activate the plugin license key. So what I have to do is I have to go onto my dashboard, click on license key, copy the license key, activate license, and paste my license, and click on activate license. Perfect. So the license key is active. Then the step 2 is create fields to collect information for attendees. So product fields is down here inside the WooCommerce sidebar section. Then I'm going to click on add new. And now I will need to assign a title, creating text fields for first name and last name, set the type of text, and label the field. Let's call it Checkout Summit tickets. Perfect. Now I have to add my first field. So it'll be text, it'll be first name. Do I need instructions? No. Is it required? Yes. Do I need a default value, placeholder text? I don't. Does it use pricing? It doesn't. Then I want to add another field, which will be the last name. So same thing, last name, it's a text, do I need instructions, is it required? Yes. So I am basically done with this now. And now I need to configure at step 3 the repeating quantity-based fields. If a customer changes the number of tickets, then the fields will appear multiple times. That's why it's called repeated. So I need to create a new field and set its type to section. So first of all, I want to add a field and give it a section. Then I need to toggle the enable repeater to yes and position this field above the first name. So that makes a lot of sense. So it's probably gonna be under advanced, enable repeater. Repeat based on WooCommerce quantity input. Perfect. And I'm going to now close this and I'm going to drag and drop it before the first name. Perfect. Now I want to add a new field, which will be this time a section end. So now we can keep going. I need to navigate to the conditions meta box and set to only display these fields on the ticket product. So, makes sense. When should this field group be displayed? So I'm going to add my first rule and I need to give it a product category. In my case, it's equal to attendee tickets. Perfect. So by default now, this extra section will be showing for all products belonging to this category. Of course, you could have chosen so many more conditions such as user role, product variation, product ID, tag, type, and so on. I've chosen category in my case. What else do we need to do? Nothing. So I need to now preview my setup on the front end. So publish. And now if I go back to my products belonging to that category, so these three, standard ticket, micro sponsor, and early bird, if I go and view, I should be able now, perfect, to see first name and last name and the add to cart. Please note that in this case the early bird is limited to 1 per order, so of course the quantity won't show, and of course these won't be using the repeated functionality. But whenever I move on to standard tickets where there is no limit of quantity per order, then I should see the actual form repeated itself whenever I change the quantity. So let's do it. Let's go to the standard ticket. I'm going to view it, and this time, as you can see here, we've got the quantity because you can purchase more than 1 ticket at a time. If I increase to 2, perfect, I have the second. If I increase to 3, I have the third. If I reduce to 2, I go back to 2. So what we're missing now here is a couple of things. First of all, it's not clear that first name and last name belong to a given attendee, so it would be nice to have a sort of a title separating these two sections, and maybe first name and last name should be showing on the same line. So I don't think that your first name will require so much space, so I can put first name and last name on the same line just to save a bit of room above the fold. So what I want to do is I want to go and edit the first product field group that I created and see if there is a way, first of all, to put these onto 2 columns. So if I expand once again the first name and go to appearance, for what concerns the width, then maybe I can give it 50 here, and the last name under appearance I can give 50, and I can update and refresh here and see if perfect. And also I want to give it a title or a label to this section so that once I increase the quantity, I know that this is for attendee number 2. So there must be a way in the product fields, I think it was under this section and under advanced, and I think that what we're looking at here is the label for duplicates. So use n in between curly brackets to denote the number of the duplicate. Leave blank if you don't need a label. So for now, let me just type in something like additional attendee, and let's see if this works in the way I believe. So I'm going to update, I'm going to my standard ticket and refresh. There is no label, no title for these, but once I increase to 2, oh, very good. That's the title that appears. Now, it makes sense to actually use what the plugin developer was saying earlier under advanced, which is the N in between curly brackets. So I'm going to say attendee number and then put the placeholder. So now it should show like attendee number 2, attendee number 3, and so on. So I'm going to update, and once again I'm going to refresh. Nothing happens, of course, if you're only adding 1 to cart, but once you click on quantity plus, perfect, we've got attendee number 2, and once we've got quantity 3, we've got attendee number 3. So for example, let's do a test 2, just to see if it works. Test 3, and I'm going to add to cart, and this should open. Perfect. The cart, as you can see, each of the standard ticket is a standalone product, and now you will see why. So if I go to the R page, which by the way on this site I've kind of hidden because I want people to go straight to the checkout page, but you will see that I've added one ticket for test, another one for test 2, another one for test 3. Okay, so these are basically showing as different products. Okay, if I go and proceed to checkout, I should see, perfect, the meta as well. So it's basically telling the customer, listen, you're adding 3 attendees, and this is the first one, this is the second one, this is the third one, like a standalone ticket. So this is super cool. In a matter of 5 minutes, I've turned my website into an event booking system. Also, I'm looking forward to turn my sponsorship products into multiple add-ons, and this time it will be changing the price because they might be purchasing a side event or something like that. And I could have done so many things with the advanced product fields for WooCommerce plugin. I mean, there's so many possible ways you can use this plugin that it's almost impossible not to have it as part of your stack.